Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. If you need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, and Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, Bocock Brothers, Premium Cigars, code Matt25, Matt25, Matt25 for 25% off your order. That code, by the way, is only good through Christmas. So take advantage of it. All right, y'all. Looks like LSU has their defensive line coach. At least they've targeted the next guy. Sterling Lucas is his name. He's the defensive run game coordinator over at South Carolina. So they're looking to get that done. And they are starting to make their way through all the support staff as well and letting guys know who will and won't be back. Um, uh, I'm checking on something real quick. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I was sorry. My apologies, y'all. I was checking on something relevant to our convo here. So if I get that, where I'll share. Anyway, so Lane Kiffin kind of going through. Remember, like, of course, it was the on. You fill out the on field, and then remember you had a lot of existing support staff as well. So I think they're going through as well the existing support staff now, like making people aware of who is invited to return, who's not, all that sort of stuff. So we'll get probably today and tomorrow, more info about support staff. There's a few I'm checking on right now to see if I can let you know. So anyway, let's say some good mornings here. So defensive line coach, nothing official there, but they've identified Sterling Lucas, and then what else? Oh, playoff game last night. Oh, how about Oklahoma just choking away a 17-0 lead? Y'all watch the game. If you just watched the final score, or you just saw the final score, I mean, Oklahoma was up 17-0, was dominating the football game. And then they drop a walk-in touchdown. The next play, guys going to punt, and the punter catches the ball, starts to stand, just drops the football. And then Alabama hits him. They recover, kick a field goal, so it's 17-10. So instead of 24-7, it's 17-10. And then Oklahoma pick six right before the end of the first half. And it wasn't like a great defensive play. The receiver went long, and Mateer threw it short right to the defender, pick six. So, and then they were tied. Disgusting football game. 3 games today. I like Miami, y'all. Like Miami in that game. I really wonder about So I'm checking on some of these. Okay. Sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get info. All right, let's say some good mornings here. I think A&M. I think Miami wins today, and then the other two. I do think Tulane covers, but Ole Miss wins. I don't think you can remove Lane Kiffin and not miss a beat. I do think, despite what they might say about unified front, all that stuff, I do think there is fragmentation within the Ole Miss roster. And so I think they win. I think they beat Tulane, but I think it's close, closer than 17.5. And I think Oregon will blow the doors off of JMU. I think they cover easily. So, all right, we'll say some good mornings here. Hey, Cade, what's going on, man? Edward, Kelly, Devin, what up? I know, man. Darn it. Carrie, what up, man? King, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Shabbat Shalom, good morning. Huff Nighthawk, good morning. Roll Tide, good morning. Had his first half, but fell completely apart. Credit Bama, who was much better in the second half. That game could have been a rout early, but for the the miscues. So okay, so I read that one. Hey, Cody, good morning. Have there been any opt-outs from the bowl game, or did I miss announcements? Well, when Frank met with reporters on last Tuesday, so a week and a half ago, that's the only real availability he's had. Pyburn was one. No Nussmeier. The others are really due to injury. No Nussmeier. No Aaron Anderson. Was told that. I did hear yesterday that AJ Halsey is not going to play. I'm trying to confirm with AJ and or his representative, but he accepted a Senior Bowl invite, and he's been playing with a bum shoulder for a lot of the year. I was actually going to do a bowl prep locked on today. A lot of these notes for you, but Witt is out. It's not an opt-out. These are guys that are injured. So who am I missing? Might be it. That might be it. Hey, Bill, good morning. Jeremiah, good morning. Good morning. Brissett, has Frank signed at Ole Miss? Signed? I don't know. I would assume he probably has an MOU, but like sign a contract. I don't think he'll do that until it actually starts. But yes, he's been hired at Ole Miss. He's going to Ole Miss. Day 7, let's go. Hey, James, good morning. Armin, good morning. Carly Cat, what's good? John, morning, Scone. I know we shouldn't be panicking about everyone transferring. It comes with the business. Are you looking, anyone you're looking at possibly coming in? Tough to say as of right now because I don't know what their board looks like. What I do know is that is Billy Glasscock and Lane putting their board together of every player in the portal, and they'll just rank them and rate them. And now they're making their their decisions about Jan 2, who they. I mean, I think some of these will already. I know some of these will already be done. So if I get word of players that they are definitely bringing in, I mean, the ones from Ole Miss that I've told you are Chambliss, Lacey, Watkins, the receiver, and the place kicker, Carneros. They want him too. So I know those from Ole Miss are the ones that they're targeting. Hey, Will, good morning. Brad, good morning. Seems rematch games always favor team that lost first. Hearts to beat a team twice. Man, I don't even know that that's necessarily what happened yesterday. Because Oklahoma just were dominating the football game and imploded. But I know that old narrative about hard to beat a team twice, but My goodness, like they were up 17-0 and just choked it away. Morning, Matt. Kills me. Ole Miss people think Pete Golding long term is better for their program than Kiffin. They don't. They are. That's deflecting, right? That's an emotional hedge. Oh, we're better off anyway. Right? Is that why you were offering him the richest contract for a head coach a month ago? Oh, and by the way, Pete Golding was not even going to be the candidate for the interim head coach job. It was going to be Joe Judge, was going to be their interim when Lane left. Only after Keith Carter screwed up the whole thing by foolishly believing he still had a chance to keep Lane Kiffin. And every other coach had been hired because they were too late for John Sumrall. Golish was their next target, and they had boosters that were just not interested in paying Alex Golish $10 million. And so they promoted Pete Golding. They promoted the popular assistant. Jay Taylor Johnson. Morning, Matt. Can you explain the clearinghouse further? Why will it be easier in the clearinghouse for blue bloods than smaller schools, even if they have the same amount of money? Yeah, because you have to get a true deal. So think of it this way. Would a brand like, look at the Nike deal. Would a brand like Nike that LSU did be more likely to do a brand deal with the LSU quarterback or the Arizona State quarterback? The Texas Tech quarterback, right? Does that make sense? Like, more people will know, like, whoever LSU gets out of the portal this year as to be their starting quarterback, more people will be aware of that person than the SMU quarterback. Make sense? Jeffrey, morning, Scone. Wanted to ask if you're giving Loomis credit for the draft and the Saints had this season. I'm sorry, what? The draft? So let's first be clear that if we want to talk about Tyler Shuck, that's Kellen Moore's handpicked guy. He gets credit for Shuck. And who else in the draft are we talking about? Banks, who's played the whole season for you, which thankfully he stayed healthy. He's been good. Hopefully he becomes your franchise left tackle. What else are we talking about? Role players that are playing out of necessity? I mean, who else are we talking about? And even if they do end up hitting on this draft, great. But once every 15 years, you have a good draft. No, Loomis gets no credit at all. Broken clock can be right 2 times a day. Do you dread doing the fantasy football segment? I don't know. I don't dread it. It always gets a response. So I do, like I say it all the time, man, I do the segment. I do the show not for me. I do the show for the audience. It doesn't matter. There's things I want to talk about that I don't talk about. So that segment has had tons of engagement over the years, and people really enjoy it. So I'll keep doing it. Tiger Spring Water. LSU fans in general, no. You're not going to come here and like push your products, and don't drink that crap. Drink Evermore, which is a great partner, a Louisiana product, and go to Rouse's, by the way, too. Hey, Austin. Good morning. Sorry I've been MIA. Work has been busy. I've enjoyed the Locked On episodes about Ole Miss. The boosters definitely have lane derangement syndrome. They're definitely looking to retaliate. There is no doubt. Like a lover scorned. There's no doubt. Hey, Club, good morning. All bias aside, last night's game was a fun game to watch. First touchdown by Bama where the guy torpedo spun in the end zone was tight. I needed that. Hey, Brett. Carl the Cat. Abner Neal, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Corey, what up? Good morning. Oklahoma choked. They did. Can't believe Oklahoma boo-booed the Bama. They did that. Like, that's one, John, they will think about for a long time up there. Up 17-0, and then they just came apart at the seams. Unbelievable to watch, actually. Ryan DeLon. Game turn when Mateer had a huge gain of third. He threw the deep ball, it fell incomplete. Yeah. But the deep ball hit the guy in the hands, and he probably scores. If nothing else, even if he just falls down right there, they're getting points out of that. And then your kicker, who's missed one kick all year, misses two in the game. I mean, they just fell apart. Hey, Clint, good morning. Keep going back and forth on whether I want Ole Miss to get beat or make a run in this thing. After all, that's our offensive staff there, but not our players yet. And I would love to see Tulane win today. That would be amazing. Edward, Miami money line. Huff Nighthawk, A&M money line. You all can go. Texas A&M annoys me. I hate them. Morning, Matt. Good to be away from the snow, back in the boot. Let's go. Stadlers think the noon kickoff really tells you how much nobody cares about A&M. No, that's not right. That's completely wrong, actually. It's like 100% the wrong interpretation. So the NFL has two games today in the afternoon and night windows, and the best playoff game is A&M Miami. And so they didn't want to put A&M Miami up against the NFL. That's why this is the first game. So it's the standalone window, which is 100% the right decision to make. Because the NFL, once the college football regular season is over, the NFL starts playing games on Saturdays. So because you have two NFL games today, that, like, the college football playoff made the very wise decision of not trying to go head to head with the NFL. That's why A&M is at 11 a.m. Because the other two are likely going to be blowouts, and people are going to be watching the NFL anyway. So you have at 4:00, you have Philly, you have the Eagles against Washington, and then tonight you have Bears Packers. Like, the Bears and Packers are two of the biggest brands in the world. A&M Miami would not compete with Bears Packers. Just wouldn't. Game day in SEC Nation. Crew's talking about Pete Golding like he's been a long-time successful head coach. This is literally the first game as head coach. Yeah, I haven't watched any of it. Antonio, morning. Looking forward to seeing what Wolford will do with the offensive line. Has an impressive resume. Current top target for quarterback. Yeah, I mean, Trinidad Chambliss will be the top target if he gets an extra year and goes in the portal, which I think that's got to be the odds-on favorite to happen. If not, I'm just going to tell you, like, I know Lane Kiffin likes DJ Lagway a lot. Now, I also know that people close to Lagway are encouraging him maybe not to stay in the SEC. Like, that's why he's from Texas, so that's why you're seeing a lot of Baylor for DJ Lagway. Let's see. Mike, Corey, Tiger Diver, Clint, Aaron. Good morning, y'all. Please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Tony, good morning. Wishing you, Drew and Eric, a wonderful Christmas. Watch you every day. Enjoy all you do. Thank you, Tony. Very kind, man. Appreciate that. Hey, Aaron, good morning. Bernard. Bernard, I don't know if that's legitimate. I'm all about helping people out, man. but there are legitimate means and ways in which you can go about doing that instead of making people maybe feel uncomfortable here about whether or not that's legitimate. So I don't know if it is, but if you need help, there are definitely ways that you can get help. Hey David, it's my birthday. All I want is my morning's gone. There you go, David. Well, happy birthday, man. Cheers to you. Hope it's a great one. You just missed being a Christmas baby. Probably a good thing, though. I feel bad for Christmas babies. You share your birthday with Jesus. Two lane versus no lane. That's pretty fun. I like those shirts. Let's see. Good morning. Charlie, good morning. Scott, good morning. Iowa State quarterback in the portal, just heard. Tiger Diver, hope you and the family have a great day. Rob, what's going on? Ghastly Gamer, off work for a week. I'm off for 2, so I'll be here, man. So, like, the next 2 weeks, we'll have probably a little bit different schedule here just because, obviously, I won't have to get up and do the show at 6:45 in the morning. So, hey, Austin, imagine how much better the playoffs would be if Notre Dame and Texas were in instead of Tulane, JMU. Let them have their own league. Yes. What if we had Notre Dame at Oregon or Notre Dame at Ole Miss and Texas at Oregon? I'll take it. Hey, Bob, good morning. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Hey, Brett, good morning. Cheetah, y'all are talking to each other. Let's see. Palumbo's on the go. Assuming one of the primary benefits of playing a bowl game is the 15 additional practices, is LSU missing an opportunity to prep for the future with Kiffin not coaching the bowl practices? No, because you're not going to install. We talked about this like all throughout the last month of the season. You're not going to install anything new, right? You are still running all the things you've run all year, but it's an opportunity for young guys to get reps. And the fact that Kiffin's there, he can at least observe, which is good. Morning, Matt. Even though I'm a diehard LSU, I'm excited for Tulane's opportunity. Sure, man. I hope they win today. Chris, good morning. Boring boomers blew it. They did. They blew it. Thomas, buenos dias. Kiffin, more important things to do, coach practices, portal's about to open. That's also very true. Hey, Phil, good morning. Sean, won a nice bet last night. Bama money line, over OU yards, under an Alabama yards. Okay. Ricky, Jesse, how much is Lacey going to cost? So, I mean, I've already put that out there that Ole Miss has offered him 1.8, and I don't think they intend for him to stay. I think they expect him to go to LSU, but they're just trying to drive up the price on LSU, and it's going to cost LSU $2 million to get him. And so you have to ask the question, is it worth spending $2 million to get Kwan Lacey? And if Lane Kiffin wants it, he's probably going to get it. So, I mean, as evidenced by the fact that Charlie Weiss is making $2.5 million. Blake Baker is making $3 million. I mean, he's gonna get what he wants. Growth Riley, good morning. Brad, I always hear about how close Kiffin is with Ed. Do you think he didn't want to hire him because Ed's character flaws was not a good fit? I don't know. I mean, that's a question that eventually we'll hopefully be able to ask Lane when we have a chance to talk to him again. But yeah, I mean, that's a complicated thing. I mean, Ed hasn't coached in 4 years. He certainly has personality and character flaws questions. Call it what you want, right? um, and do you want the distraction, storyline, whatever, of bringing the former head coach back as an assistant? Hey, Arnold, good morning. I'll tell you what I told you all the way along, which is I never had anyone at LSU tell me they were interested in bringing Ed Ogeron back. That was always created from the Ogeron side. And if y'all listen long enough, if you've listened long enough, told you how a lot of this stuff works. There's different ways that you can have stories, and sometimes they're agent creations and agents pushing stuff out. And that's what that was. That was Ogeron's people with his buyout payment expiring from LSU, trying to get back into coaching and pushing him for jobs. And he still hasn't got a job. So don't just ask yourself, why not the LSU defensive line coach job? Why not any job? Well, Matt, didn't get a chance to watch Transportal Raid AFR. We'll do so today. How bad do you think it will get? Well, I don't know that it's gonna be so bad. Um, I mean, mostly what you're losing are the 1-year mercenaries that are all gonna be off to the draft. The key players that you're hoping to keep out of the portal are like DJ Pickett, Harlem Berry, um, you know. I don't really think you're worried about that. It's more about who you're gonna attract in the portal. Hey, Matt, good morning. Going to see the Lane train this afternoon in the levee. Very cool. Shout out to my guy Rooney email. Alabama looks pretty good to me. Oklahoma. Oklahoma choked. Wow. Charles, good morning. Who'd you pick for LSU quarterback D-line coach? Well, they have a D-line coach. Sterling Lucas is going to get hired, apparently. Quarterback, I guess it'd be Chambliss. Hey, Brian, where do we get the Lane State hoodie from? Hang on, I'll put a link. Let's see, 929 Misfits. There's T-shirts and hoodies. Here you go. Dropping the link in the chat now. There you go. Hey, Jimmy, let's see. What's happening as far as the new coaching staff's evaluation of the offensive line? You alluded to major questions. Is the Jims and Joes X's and O's? Well, I think there's going to be a little bit of both, right? I think I would fully expect you're going to have more players go in the portal. But I also fully expect that they're going to sign probably a couple of offensive linemen out of the portal. I think the biggest questions are, can you get Braylon Moore back for another year? And then which of the returning guys do they think actually have ability? Like the Carius Kern thing, I know it feels like a surprise because of he was a 5-star and all that stuff. I can tell you, man, throughout their evaluation, I think there were just some like maturity and character things that maybe dinged him and devalued him. And so he left. And I think they're okay with that. Hey, Sean, good morning from Starkville. Moving the second daughter out of school. Have a good one. Okay. Graduation? That's amazing, man. Congrats. JT, Grand Rising. Did LSU hire the D-line coach yet? Nothing official as far as a hiring yet, but I know we reported yesterday at Louisiana Sports.net that they were targeting Sterling Lucas. That's the name, from South Carolina. And then some of the South Carolina people, like from the South Carolina side, they were reporting that that it was done, that he was taking the job. Classic OU choke job. When you check the punter and kickers, FanDuel accounts. Good morning. What else you players go in the portal? There's some I've heard. I'd rather not say their names because they haven't put it out yet. But I think you could naturally look at positions like offensive line, safety, where you have some where you just have a lot of numbers and guys that are buried on the depth chart and new guys will come in. Let's see. Lane will just fake like he wants certain players, dump them on Ole Miss, LSU playing check, Ole Miss playing check. Good morning, Matt. Fiance and I watch from New York. Awesome, man. Cheers. Happy Saturday. Hope you all have an awesome day. Still hate Bama or L, but the trolling I'm about to do these OU fans on Twitter is about to be so fun. Austin went to Rouse's last night. Sugar-free bacon's on point. Also saw that Rouse's has A5 Wagyu ribeyes right now. I may have to go snag one of those for this weekend. I mean, A5 Wagyu ribeye, that's pretty on point.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. After hours clinic, nights and weekends, so bypass the ER. Need a roof, give us a shot at Parish. Commercial, residential, repairs, replacements, gutters, soft wash. We do it all over the state. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness. Maybe you're starting your New Year's resolution early. Remember, unique physique, GLP-1s. So that's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the weight loss shots. You want to learn more? Those are peptides. Tell you about peptides all the time. You want to learn more? Do it there. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, Bocock Brothers Premium Guards. Code MAT25, 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 MAT25 for 25% off your order. Only through Christmas at BocockBrothers.com. Hey, Brian, good morning. Somewhere in Iowa. Be safe out there. If Mateer had run for the first, or if 24 caught the catchable ball, the game would have been over. Yes. Agreed. A&M cheers a little too zesty for me. I'm not slapping my butt to cheer my team on. Hey, Bailey. Watching the game last night, I realized LSU's been in one playoff since 2014. That's crazy given the brand is not. No. Because it's what we talk about all the time. We have a perception of LSU that is not reality. It's what the Bama fans don't get. Whenever I do the Bama's burning stuff, they're like, LSU is burning. I'm like, no, they're not. That's what LSU is. LSU averages about 8.5 wins a season. That's what they are. LSU is a perpetual 8-4, 9-3 team that every now and again pops a big one. That's what LSU has been over 25 years. Like, when you actually look at where they finish, Like, let's start with Nick Saban. 8-4, 10-3, 8-5, 13-1, 9-3, 11-2, 11-2, 12-2. By the way, that was Les's first 3 years. 8-5, 9-4, 11-2, 13-1, 10-3, 10-3, 8-5, 10-3, 8-4, 9-4, 10-3, 15-0, 5-5, 6-7, 10-4, 10-3, 9-4. And now 7-5. I mean, that's what you are. Oklahoma let me down, but Jake Paul got knocked out. Saw that. What's he doing fighting Anthony Joshua? Making money, I guess. Hey, Chris. Know a lot of people like to pull for the SEC. If LSU's not in, between Bama, A&M, Ole Miss, I'd pull for anyone else. Yeah, I don't pull for the SEC. I'm not a cheer for the conference guy. Bama, A&M, Ole Miss winning does nothing for LSU at all. I'm not a pull for the conference guy. I'd rather see Indiana, Oregon, somebody else win it. Reason Miami, Texas A&M standalone. Same reason Oklahoma, Alabama was last night. Don't want your best. Yeah, exactly. That's for someone who asked about that earlier. We talked about that. Oklahoma. Brian, wonder why Lane didn't go after the defensive line coach at USC from New Orleans. Don't know. He's the guy who got Jakeem Stewart out to USC. Lyle Clark is another one who's a Baton Rouge native who played at Northwestern State and Grambling. He's coach at Ohio State. He's currently the edge coach at Texas. Lyle Clark is his name. He's the one who was getting Richard Anderson recruited to Texas. I did not watch the fight last night. I was watching football. Matt, I'm trying to find ways to troll A&M right now. Don't ruin it for me. Chris, good morning. Another Chris Rocco back to the portal as he followed coach at Penn State. That feels likely, right? Matt Campbell at Penn State. Hey, David, good morning. Yep, read that one. Carl, decent win by men's basketball. Several ways to go to improve. Wake me up when conference play starts. Do you know 4 or 5 stars edge name committed to SC? I saw a tweet where he commented under a post about their D-line coach being pursued. I don't know. I think the one to watch would be Dylan Stewart. 5-star edge player. That would be one to watch if he goes in the portal. Matt, have you gotten Kip into supper club yet? I haven't. Let's see, Matt. I know your time is limited, but I need to ask this. If the playoff goes to 16 or more, would the individual bowl games be the first and second round games? Would the home playoff games still be a thing? Yeah, good question. I think you would still see first round games. It would just be the same format. Now you just wouldn't have 4 buys. You would have just set up the same way it is right now. You have the first round on campus, and then you go into the quarterfinals as is, and so on. Quarter semis, national championship. But I think the old New Year's 6 would be the quarters and the semis, and the first round would be on campus. You just wouldn't have buys with a 16-team bracket. Hey, Andrew. Brad, good morning. I'm a Christmas baby. So is my sister. Wow. 2 Christmas babies in the same family. That's wild. Hey, Bill, good morning. Hope you have a great day, too. Life is a Christmas baby. Wow. Wait. What is it? Christmas. Monday, the 22nd isn't a Christmas baby. Well, I'm confused, Corey. Like, if her birthday's the 22nd, then she's not a Christmas baby. Christmas baby would be Christmas Day. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I was wearing my team. Erica years ago made those Team Drew sweatshirts. I wore it last night, so it was on the Locked On that I recorded. Yeah. Yeah, that's Alan. It's a good question about Dylan Stewart. I haven't heard that credibly from anywhere. I think that's a natural conversation people have just to say, would he go in the portal, follow his position coach? Maybe. But I haven't heard that credibly. I've heard the whispers, but not from anyone that I would deem like, okay, that's a credible source that I would say, yes, that's something that could happen. Chris, it would be hilarious if Quan Lacey would come take less money than Ole Miss offered. I don't think that's going to happen. So he made, I was told, I believe my information is good, that he made about $400 this year at Ole Miss. Remember, he was a lightly regarded guy, went to Missouri, and Missouri got Ahmad Hardy from ULM this year, and Lacey went to Ole Miss. So Lacey made $400K. So I don't think he's going anywhere to take less. If he comes to Baton Rouge, it's with Kevin Smith to make more. The guy, he ain't taking a discount. Do you really have people out there defending gum smacking Mick? I know, right? I don't think he was defending him. I think he was asking like a valid question. Why do we keep bringing up Coach O? Right. Patricia, I'm trying to be respectful of everybody when they ask a question, but weeks and weeks and weeks now when people have asked me, I've said over and over and over again, I still to this day have not had anybody actually associated with LSU tell me that was something that was ever a realistic possibility. I think that was all agent driven. Given arrangements. Charles, good morning from San Antonio. Hope everyone has a great Saturday. Tiger Poppy. Sean, go Green Wave. Yeah, I'm pulling for the wave. I think John Summerall's awesome. I love to see the local teams do well. I know there's this, like, older fans have the thing about, like, LSU Tulane, which, I mean, that hasn't been a rivalry really in my lifetime. So I hope they win. I hope Tulane goes and beats. Well, I don't think it will, but I think I'm pulling for them too. Clear Kiffin prefers portal than old time recruiting. Yes, that's a fact. That is his strategy. And I kind of got into this a little bit this week, but because people were pushing back on me saying that, I'm like, listen, this isn't my opinion. Like, I'm not giving you a take. I'm just telling, like, this is what he does. This is his approach. And that's fine. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying there's different ways to skin a cat. If you look at the top, I did this on AFR this week. Hang on. So if you look at the 2025 transfer portal team rankings, number 1 portal class was LSU. Number 2, Texas Tech in the playoff. Number 3, Miami in the playoff. Number 4, Ole Miss in the playoff. Number 5, Oregon in the playoff. I mean, even so, 4 of the top 5 portal classes, teams are in the playoff. A&M was 11, playoff. Oklahoma 12, playoff. Even when you go down, you look like Georgia and Bama were further down the list. Ohio State as well. But Indiana, their portal class was 25th, but they had 23 portal additions. 23 portal additions. Like, by contrast, Georgia had 10, Bama had 12, Ohio State had 11, Indiana had 23. So it's more like their class wasn't rated very high because the prospects they signed weren't very highly rated. But their evaluation clearly was good because they hit. Chris, Oklahoma showed the importance of special teams last night. Yes, they did. Hey, Thad, good morning. JWBJR, good morning, Cedar Park, Texas. Wife asked me a few weeks ago what I wanted for Christmas. So the 99 Misfits link. The Lane State University hoodies and tees are blowing up for sure. Murder Giraffe, have you seen Kiffin's Cajun Cast from Daniel Tosh? I have seen it. I basically, every LSU fan has sent me that over the last 2-3 days. Heat check. Hate dead air on the show. Almost makes, okay, then leave. Go away. I'm literally giving you my Saturday for free. Go away, jerk. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do you a favor. Here you go. You're banned. Congratulations. You're gone. I just made the decision for you. Good morning. Stat Dub. Have you watched Pluribus? No. Go fight. That's my point. I just took the decision away from him. There you go. These are my people right here. These are my people. I love y'all. Let Ole Miss drive with the price on Ole Miss players, and LSU should walk away, leaving Ole Miss with inflated price. Maybe here's the thing that I think they're banking on is, so we can all agree on this. Like, Lane Kiffin is someone who very much cares what people think and what the perception of him is. Like, I don't think that that's like some groundbreaking inflammatory statement. He reads stuff. He watches TV. He listens to the shows. He knew the guy used the Ludacris song lyric on him and when confronted him on the field. Like, he's aware. Okay. So I think Ole Miss, knowing that, is trying to play into that part of his personality, knowing that Lane will care about perception. And the perception is, and I explained this all in a Locked On episode. If you want to go check it out, please. But it's, if Ole Miss players stay at Ole Miss, the perception will be, you see, they weren't there for Lane. If LSU players go in the portal and sign with Ole Miss, it's going to be, you see, they wanted to play for Frank. If Ole Miss targets Louisiana kids and gets them to sign, it's going to be, you see, they letting Frank go was a problem. They're not there for kids. Like, that's what Ole Miss is banking on, and hoping that LSU will then overpay on things like that. Because even if you get Kawan Lacey, but you pay him $2 million, those are resources you're not spending somewhere else. And my thought would be like, why would you pay Kawan Lacey $2 million when you have Harlan Berry? Like, keep Harlan Berry, make him your bell cow. Like, okay. Morning, Matt. Forgot to ask, what bottle of bourbon would you like for Christmas? Glad to send us. Thank you for all you do. Very kind, Tony. But I'm good. What I would rather you do is make a donation in that amount, whatever amount you were going to spend, to St. Lillian Academy in Drew's name. That's what I would prefer you do. I have tons of whiskey. I have more in this house than I could ever drink in my life. So that's very kind of you, but I would rather you give, if you really wanted to do something, do a donation to St. Lillian in Drew's name. Thank you. We'll have enough players to book. Yes. Yeah. Well, good morning. Wait, come say hi to Dad Show. Come say hi to Dad Show. Come see. Let me get my hands on you. Yep. Yep. Watch your knees. Bang your knees on the desk. What do you say?
Hi, Dad Show.
Okay. What day is today?
Saturday.
Yep. Saturday. Okay. He's gone. He's just, you ready? Okay. And he's ready for his iPad. Boom. Out the bed. Give me that iPad. I need to watch videos of Ryan Terrio, Gordy Rush. Shout out. Drew watches a ton of videos of Bryce Brown as well. Yes, Bryce Brown from Ed Nakar loves to watch videos of Bryce Brown. He saw, is a weird connect the dots, but like, Drew would like to watch T-Bob videos. And he found T-Bob at the New Orleans Quarterbacks Club years ago. I mean, 10 years ago. And so he sort of fell down the rabbit hole of New Orleans Quarterback Club videos. And so our friend, the late Ed Daniels, Drew loves to watch videos of Ed, which warms my heart a lot. And there was one of their meetings where Bryce Brown was a featured speaker or something like that. And so he started watching Bryce Brown, and then he started watching Bryce Brown videos. So Bryce Brown, Ed in the car, which I think the world of Bryce. Great coach. He's been very kind to me. But the Car Cougars have also ended my Catholic High Bears season each of the last 2 years. So I'm kind of like watching Drew, Ed in the car, Bryce Brown, or Bryce Brown in the car. I'm like, okay. And so Bryce has told me, he knows that Drew watches these videos of him. And so he's offered to send me a car, hat, and shirt for Drew. I'm like, I don't know if I get down with that, Bryce. I can't put my kid in a car, hat, and shirt. Huh? I think he did once.
No, but I need it. Christmas Eve press buttons. It's going to be people's with messages to him. Like, hey, Drew, this is Bryce Brown. I need it.
Okay. Yeah, I could ask Bryce to do that.
There's like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Hey, this is Bryce Brown in the car.
Yeah. Got it.
I have like 10 recordings I gotta get from people like today, tomorrow.
I'll ask. I'll shoot him a text. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook like the page, share the post. And it does work. 20 to 23 out of the portal. I think that's about right. I think you'll get 20 out of the portal. I mean, just look at everybody you're losing, right? And you only signed 14 high school players. So, I mean, you can go to 105 now. And so you sign, you're losing your senior class. And then, I mean, all the 1-year transfers you had, think about the exodus of players. I mean, you've already got 9 who've declared they're leaving in the portal. And then all the Nussmeier, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, Chris Hilton, Bauer Sharp, Josh Thompson, Pyburn, Butler, Gooden, Jacobin Guillory, West Weeks, Mansour Delane, Halsey. I mean, that's 13 right there just off the top of my head. Plus the 9 that are already in the portal. That's 22 right there. You only signed 14. There's going to be more. There's more seniors I'm forgetting, but and you're going to have more players go in the portal. So yeah, I mean, conservatively, they're going to have to add 20 guys in the portal. Hey, Lowell, good morning. Team Drew, and it does work. No, you don't watch. Locked on this guy is hilarious. Pulling for Chambliss, gets another year to play. He's going to play. He might. I don't know what Trinidad Chambliss is going to do. I mean, I do know that Charlie Weiss is the one who really discovered him. He fits the Weiss Kiffin system. LSU will pay. Does he really want to stay at Ole Miss, where John David Baker is their new OC, who's been there, but it's different. I don't know what he's going to do. Morning from the Deer Stand. Paul, I plan on it. Paul, I plan on it. Andre, good morning from Cali. Hey, Rob, how long have we had the 12-team playoff go bad? Some of those years. Rob, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what you're saying there. Any news on Levitt? Nope. Saban's explanation why G5 shouldn't be in the playoff was flawless. Nobody will challenge him for it. He's right. You can't listen. The biggest problem we have in college football, which I've been stumping for this for 15 years now. We have got to stop pretending that the G5 is the same as the Power Four. It's not. And then the counter argument will be, well, look at the times where G5 teams beat Power Four teams. There are times in a one-off where a G5, a good G5, can beat a Power Four team. Happens every year. But if you took the best G5, if you took Tulane, JMU, and put them in the SEC and the Big Ten this year, like look at what happened last year when all the teams from the American went in their first year, went into the Big 12 or the ACC. Like the ones that went in the Big 12 face planted their first year in the conference. It was like Houston, Cincinnati, they were the worst teams in the league. UCF or hang on, I'll get the standings. They were like literally the bottom four teams in the conference last year. You had Cincinnati went 3-6 in the league. Houston went 3-6 in the league. UCF went 2-7. Oh, BYU is the other one, but they were an independent. They went 7-2. So Cincinnati 3-6, Houston 3-6, UCF 2-7 in their first year in the conference. Like, what do you think would happen if they went to the SEC or the Big Ten? Is any running back worth $2 million? I don't think so, but I think they're going to pay it. Wish Brian Kelly would get a call. Almost 2026. There are LSU fans rooting for other SEC teams to win it all. Yeah, not me. I ain't that guy. Ever. I think G5 should play with. I think the G5 should have a playing game. I'm not interested in play-ins. Just have a bracket. Father JD III and G5 has become the minor leagues. It's true. Gruden's best playoff scenario heard. Haven't heard it. One Matt saw a tweet saying turned have been granted the year. I have not heard that, and I feel like if I had heard that, if that had happened, I feel like I would know that. Yeah, that's not actually a thing yet. Okay, y'all. It's T-Bob on whiskey and wine. Is it unfair teams who got first-round buys don't get to play at home? I mean, you could argue that. Would you rather that, or would you rather the bye? The week off, not having to play a game. Now, it's interesting because last year the four teams that all had buys all lost. But it is fair to mention that two of those teams were Boise State and Arizona State, which is ridiculous. That again, that charade, playing that charade where those teams got buys. Be interesting this year because the actual four best teams have buys, and so like I think Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech, like should all win their games. I wonder, do people ever consider, got Blake fired from his job? Maybe Blake doesn't want the guy around, bad vibes or something. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. And yeah, that's not why. That's not why they're not hiring. Any status on E-Rock's life-size ginger red house? It's done. It's out there. I mean, it's like the beams and the roof thing on the outside on the French doors. It's something. Suggest on bourbons to get people like Matt that has them all. Basically, you want to get outrageous price ones, get your local store pick for them. Yeah, you can do that. Store picks are always a good option. I know Taylor mentioned this week that at Calandro's they have a Four Roses pick, which I mean I don't think they've gotten a Four Roses pick in like 3 or 4 years. And those are always amazing. So there's 10 master distiller recipes that they use for the Four Roses single barrel picks that they do. And a lot of them you get either only at the distillery or when they do a barrel pick at a store. So very, like they have the Four Roses single barrel that you can find anywhere, but the master distiller recipes, the 10 recipes, those are rare. And if you find one, get them. And you can tell, by the way, if you're ever looking, just so you know. So, like, this is what the bottle looks like. The Four Roses single barrel. But the differentiator is it'll say private selection on here. You say private selection, and then it'll have the recipe here. So turn to the side of the bottle, and you'll see these 4 letters, OBSV. That's one of the recipes is OBSV, and so it's 35% rye mash bill with delicate fruit. So the 10 recipes you'll see are here on the back of the tag. I don't know if y'all can see that. It'll tell you the 10 recipes. Well, I don't think you can see that. That's not really coming into focus, is it? Oh, well. Anyway, so a Four Roses single barrel from the master distiller's recipe, the private selection, those are excellent bottles if you ever get a shot. I mean, I've never had a bad one. They're all incredible. And that should run you about 100, like right at $100. At 1037, Charlie, thanks for being a great source of information. Really appreciate it, especially from those us outside the big red stick area. Merry Christmas, you, Erica Drew. Happy and blessed New Year. Thanks, Charlie. Same to you, man. Hope the best for you and yours. Absolutely glad to make donations. Cool. So it's Saint Lillian, and that's awesome. Thank you. Here, I'll put the Saint Lillian link in the chat. Here you go. So no obligation at all. No obligation at all. And the only reason I bring that up is because someone said, Matt, someone had mentioned they wanted to, I think it was Tony, said he wanted to buy me a bottle of bourbon. And I was like, I got plenty of bourbon. I'd rather, if you absolutely wanted to do something, make a donation to St. Lillian in Drew's name. That would be awesome. Drew said I'm here for a good time, not a long time. It's so good. When will Trinidad know if his request will be granted? I think Sam L should be the target. It's interesting, man. Levitt had a good year in 24, a down year this year. And, you know, respectfully, like we just saw Trinidad Chambliss have an all-conference caliber season with Lane Kiffin in this offense. There's no learning curve, right? You step in immediately. Terminology, knowledge of the system, knowledge of the league, all of it. Like for 2026, if you can get Trinidad Chambliss, like that is a no-brainer for 2026. Now, if you want anything long-term, like I've said, look, if Bryce Underwood goes in the portal, awesome. You could think a multi-year guy, huge upside talent, all that stuff. But if you're just thinking this is a year-to-year proposition because it is next to impossible to build a roster for the long term, understanding that every player is basically on a 1-year contract, then you try to win in 2026. Well, who's going to help you best win in 2026? Well, the quarterback that just led Ole Miss to the playoff. All right. All right, y'all. A&M in Miami here in about 20 minutes. Sorry, I'm trying to find my spot because I went to the bottom and scrolled up. Oh, here we go. I think this was fair too. How healthy would G5 teams be if they had to play an SEC schedule? I mean, listen, I had had the coach on from Western Kentucky, or even go back and talk about Frank Selfo. When I had Frank Selfo on, like, I asked him point blank if he wanted to play. He's like, I don't ever want to play these games. No, that's an FCS team, but still, like, they know what's up. Can you read my text from the chat? It's for the guy that said I spammed the chat. Can you read my text from the chat? Like this? Yeah, I mean, I read it. Has Sterling been hired as DT coach? I have not. I don't think it's official. Not that I've heard anyway, but you're starting to hear it from both sides. I know that he's the target. We reported that yesterday, and then South Carolina people were reporting that. It seems like it's done. So if they're saying it from that side, that's a pretty good indicator. Bias pointless. They don't start the playoffs as soon as the regular season ends anyway. That's a good point. I mean, that is a very good point. Like, you could argue it's a detriment to sit for 4 weeks and not play, or almost 4 weeks. Which Manning do we get? Elijah versus Peyton. Mike, what would stop the playoff from having second round be home game 7 neutral site? Money. Remember, all of those, like, this is the thing. I want to talk about this. Most people don't get. Like, God bless. I know Chris Marlowe wrote a piece at LouisianaSports.net this week, and he's wrong. He talked about the financial implications of why these games should be played on campus, because Ole Miss is talking about it's a $74 million economic impact to Oxford. Great. That doesn't make Ole Miss money. The neutral site bowl games have the infrastructure built to where they have the deals already done with the stadiums, TV networks, through the college football playoff, ticketing, sponsorships, all of it, to where they're ready to just write checks, gigantic checks. It's turnkey. Why do you think LSU goes and plays the neutral site game? I mean, Verge has said this on the record on my show so many times. Why do you think they go play the neutral site games in Vegas and Orlando and Atlanta? Because you show up, play a game, and get a big check. You don't have to worry about hosting the game. And remember, even hosting the game, like when you make the return trip, you get a payout that any team would for playing a non-conference game, $750K, $1 million, whatever it is. Like, you take a financial hit making the return trip on those regular seasons. So the reason the playoff, those New Year's 6 bowls are included isn't just because of the history of the bowls. It's financial. Like, they have the structure in place to write gigantic checks for the participants, which is why that goes away if you play the game on site, on campus. Anyway. I sent it to his text line. It's not. What are y'all talking? What are y'all talking about? Oh, you sent a text on my text line. Yeah, I see those. I mean, I get a lot of them, so I do my best. Oh, there. Well, you just sent one just now. Yours is at the top of the list. I'll read it. Yeah, I get those. It's just I get a lot of text, so it's hard to read every single and reply to every single one. But yeah, I read those. Of course I do. That's why I have it. Okay, I gotta go. 15 minutes till kickoff. Let's get out of here. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. As always, all of our great sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube. Oh, I never hit send on the St. Lillian thing. Sorry. Or maybe it didn't send. There it is. There it is. Okay. All right. Y'all have an awesome day.